Conor Benn says if $10 to $15 million is not enough for Gervonta Tank Davis, a.k.a. Abdul Wahid, then he can stay on house arrest. So Conor Benn just did a brand new interview, and he basically said, he made it sound like, I'll say, the Gervonta Davis fight is not going to be a thing. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Conor Benn doing this interview just validates what I told you. I keep telling you, I told you, and then I showed you. I am the best in the world. I am the best in boxing history when it comes to doing this job. The information you get on my channel is accurate. It's reliable. You can take it to the bank, as they say. You can listen to me. You can listen to other YouTubers, other podcasters, but this is where it's at when it comes to the best in the business, and it's not even close. So I didn't really you notice I didn't make a bunch of videos. See, just like a real boxing match, you gotta use your energy in this game wisely. And I do just that. Like, to perfection, like Floyd Mayweather. Hard work, dedication. God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record. He done made the Boxing Ego channel perfect too. We don't miss. Hits like Drake. At the end of the day, I don't believe in wasted energy. So when Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn were doing interviews and saying, oh, we want to fight Gervonta Davis, and we sent him an offer and he needs to take this offer, I told you in my videos that I didn't see the fight happening next, you know? And again, Gervonta's next fight hasn't been confirmed or announced, so I could be wrong, but it's not likely. A lot of you guys, you run and tweet and make videos about stupid stuff is really kind of just clickbait, and it's not really about nothing. It's not something like, for me, I'm an old school mentality. So for me, if I do any work, I want it to lead to something. I want it to count. When I speak, I want it to matter. I'm not just getting on the YouTube and pressing record for my health. It's to inform the boxing public. You know? It's that simple. So I didn't really see the Conor Benn Gervonta Davis fight growing legs. I mean, just look at it. Conor Benn failed a drug test. That's a fact. He blames it on eggs. Conor Benn just fought Pistol Pete Dobson, who, you know, he could fight, but he wasn't a big name. He was an obscure name. He fought in Las Vegas at like 2 p.m. my time. I can't. 2 p.m. A UK fighter fighting in America because he can't fight at home in the UK because he failed a test with a banned substance, and he's fighting at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Crazy. In addition to fighting at 2 p.m., hardcore rapper, but he's glossy. In addition to that, you fought against Pistol Pete Dobson, who is not a big name. And you came out in the first round in that fight, Conor Benn, mad aggressive, like you trying to knock him out, and you were feeling yourself. When you seen that he was durable, when you seen that he could take a punch, when you seen that Pistol Pete was here for the long haul and he wasn't going anywhere, then you seen Conor Benn ease up and have to pace himself. And okay, he won the fight, but you were in there with an inexperienced dude and he troubled you in several rounds. Boxing, I always say, is a sport. It's also a business, but boxing is a what have you done for me lately type of sport. So what have you done for me lately? That's your latest offering. Pistol Pete Dobson at 2 p.m. That's it. A Pistol Pete fight at 2 p.m. that didn't do any crazy live gate, didn't have a crazy crowd, didn't even look sensational, if I'm being honest, plus failed a drug test. Why did you believe that Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn would be next? Let's excuse the fact that they're not even in the same weight class. Let's just ignore that totally. Let's ignore the fact that Conor Benn is a 147er calling out smaller guys like Devin Haney and calling out smaller guys like Gervonta Davis, who's even small. Like Devin Haney at least got a frame where you can see him. You know, he's talked about moving to welterweight. But Gervonta Davis, he keeps calling him a munchkin and, Oompa Loompa, Gervonta Loompa, or whatever he's saying. But while you're sitting here trying to roast his stature and call him short and vertically challenged, you a welterweight that wants to fight him. So what does that say about you? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the UK banter, just count me out of it, at least in boxing. I'm sure if they got some TV shows like Mr. Bean and all that, that might be humorous. But the UK trash talk is terrible in boxing. They say weird stuff. Oh, yo, fuck, psych. You silly sausage. You silly sausage, mate. Bung. Like, it's not good. At least to Americans. I don't know what the silly sausage and you flipping bellin and all that might sound amazing over there. But where I'm at in America, where boxing counts, where boxing has made the most money ever, Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather McGregor. I don't know what you're thinking. Who the fuck the Mayweather, right? Nobody's trying to hear that. So you're calling him short, but then you want to fight him, and he's not even in your weight class. So that's a bad look. And the UK is getting exposed in boxing right before your eyes, like right here and right now, because their top guys are losing. Especially, like, you look at a lot of top guys that fought Latino fighters, they're getting cooked. They're getting cooked, crucified, right? They do little things in the UK, like the fighters can't hack it at the elite level, so they retire and then want to come back. Amir Khan, he want to come back for exhibitions or whatever. Kell Brooks said he want to come back. You got Billy Joe Saunders now wants to come back. Tyson Fury feigns retirement. That type of stuff. At least Tyson Fury's winning. I'll give him that. But, it's just a bad look. And people want to put all this pressure on Gervonta Davis. It shows me everything I'm saying is 1,000% true. Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing by a long shot because everyone seems to be talking about him. What audacity do you have to be Eddie Hearn to think that you're going to land these big PBC fighters and Conor Benn and you're not in charge? Gervonta Davis is the face of boxing, and people keep complaining, oh, why did he turn down 10 to 15 million? You don't even know how much money the man made versus Hector Luis Garcia. He set a record at the Capitol Arena or wherever in DC. He's setting records with Rolly in America. See, and this is what people are getting confused. Listen, I don't have no problem with the Kingdom of Saudi. They want to play in boxing. They got the money. Have at it. But here's the thing. People getting twisted. It's not making sense. People, like, they said, oh, Devin Haney should fight in Saudi Arabia. But then he's announcing the Ryan Garcia fight. It's not in Saudi Arabia. I thought that's the marketplace. I thought that's the place where all the big fights are supposed to go on that side. And people get mad. Oh, Gervonta Davis said he needs 2 Ferraris. Listen, I'm going to say it like this. If Gervonta Tank Davis is turning down these offers, he must be feeling good. But what happens is you get a lot of bums on the internet, and because they don't eat for real, because they don't make that type of money, they start pocket watching. How could he turn that down? I would have took that in a heartbeat. Of course, but you would also sell your soul for YouTube, or you would sell your soul and, stiff a friend or bang your friend's girl and these types of things because you don't live by no code of conduct. So there's different types of people. And what I've noticed about different types of people in this world, when somebody doesn't have integrity, when somebody doesn't have valor and couth, and they don't really live by any code of ethics, they're oftentimes surprised by those who do. It's just like somebody who's fat on the couch, no discipline, eating Lay's potato chips and flaming hot Cheetos, and then they look at someone like, let's say David Goggins or something, stay hard. They look at David Goggins and they look at Boxing Ego and they like, man, how is Ego putting out so much work? How is he doing so much quality work? How is David Goggins doing these ultra marathons? You can't, David Goggins must be on steroids. No way he's at his age doing it. Because in their brain, it has to be a cheat code because they know they are not willing to make those sacrifices in order to make that happen. They do not have that level of discipline in order to make that happen. So everybody else, they can't fathom anybody that can. They can't fathom anybody would be able to wake up at the same time every day or put out this many videos or stay consistent to a game plan. And that's what I noticed. You got a lot of bozos who talk about the offers that Tank's turning down, but he's not complaining about his money. If anything, he's posting money pictures and briefcases and money spread over tables and beds and stuff. And he's talking about, give me 2 Ferraris before I even consider opening conversation. And then you have people on the internet who are talking about, why didn't he take Conor Benn, Eddie Hearn's 10 to 15 million? He must be comfortable if he could turn down that type of money. Right? And again, it's only the broke muff and the people who aren't really eating like that are so concerned. Like Dave Chappelle, he walked away from $50 million to do a complete third season of the Chappelle Show. But he did that based on his integrity and his values, and his principles wouldn't allow him to do he was tired of doing some of the skits that they were trying to have him do or whatever the case is. People said he was crazy and he went to Africa and he lost his mind and things like that. Do you know how much money Dave Chappelle later made with Netflix? So imagine being a Dave Chappelle. You walked away from then what was astronomical money. I mean, it's still crazy money, $50 million, but you walked away from it and never looked back. People clowned you. You went on Oprah and people said you were tripping, you were crazy. How could you turn down Comedy Central's money? Only to later re-up with Netflix and make even more money in a lucrative deal where you get to tell all the jokes that you want. Netflix don't have a leash on you and you don't have to sell your soul. That's winning. That's winning. In my book, that's winning. You didn't have to go against the grain and do nothing you didn't want to do, and then you still make more money in the end. And I feel like the universe is very giving. So the universe, when you do some of these things that others would consider bold, it usually pays off. Like Gervonta not fighting in Saudi Arabia, he doesn't have to. I don't even know who he's going to fight next, but best believe coming off a Ryan Garcia fight, doing $1 million plus, right? He's going to get cashed out. He's the hottest name in the sport. Everybody's talking about Tank, good or bad. And that's the reality of it. So a lot of haters, a lot of fans, and everything in between, a lot of pocket watching when it comes to Gervonta Davis. And at the end of the day, it's all good because, like I said, if you're turning down these big offers, then you must have a lot of faith in what you're already doing, right? I seen recently Aiden Ross and the people at Kick, they got offered like a buyout of like $1.2 billion and they turned it down. Some people said they were crazy for it, but obviously they feel they can maybe surpass that by doing what they're doing and they don't have to take this buyout. You know what I mean? People are so money hungry, and so many people have never had that type of money ever, to the point where they would do just about anything for some bread. You know, they would like pull a scam on their own mama for some bread. But again, if you make bread, you don't have to do all that. You can have a firm handshake and keep going about your business. Now, when it comes to Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, I like the fight. But a lot of people said that Gervonta Davis wasn't the reason that the fight sold. They said, oh, that was all Ryan Garcia fans. Well, now we're going to get to see, and I can't wait, because we're going to see the numbers of Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and in my opinion, as good of a fight as it is, it will not do better than Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. How can it? Ryan was undefeated. His confidence wasn't chipped away at, and explosive styles, we knew someone was getting knocked out, versus Devin Haney has a great chance to outbox. I don't know about knockout, but outbox Gervonta's leftovers, or whatever we're calling it, Ryan Garcia, right? So that's the reality of it, people. And I love what Gervonta's doing and his team is doing, because it gets everyone all bent out of shape. Conor Benn saying he could stay on house arrest. Bro, you're one to talk. You're talking about Tank with an ankle monitor, but you failed a drug test, can't fight in the UK, and got to go to all these like meetings, and you got to go to all these hearings because you failed with egg banned substances and stuff like that. So you talking about some ankle monitor, stay on house arrest. Bro, you on house arrest in your own country. You can't even fight in your own country. Tank can still fight in America. You can't even fight in your own homeland. So it's like calling the kettle black. The pot calling the kettle black. You got a person, a PED failed test dude, telling the other dude, oh yeah, stay on house arrest. You don't want my 10 to 15 million. You can't even fight in your own country. What are we talking about, people? And you see, it's still bang, bang, Niner gang.